there's this new trend that's starting to catch on, and it's under this guise of intellectual and pro-black. And the new trend is where they try to start to discredit, or try to debunk Christianity, all under the umbrella of I'm pro-black, I'm Afrocentric, or I'm an intellectual, I'm a scholar. So I'm finna, I'm somehow enlightened and woken up to those old archaic ideas of the past. And so I try to give them an ear, and I'm listening to them because I'm like, okay, hey, if you know something I don't know, I'm all for knowledge, I'm all for study. I've given myself to school and scholarship, so, so sure, let's have it. So then I listen to them, and then when they try to hit me with their deep, profound knowledge, and I listen to it, and it's just these same cotton candy fluff arguments. And for example, and they just kind of repeat them over and over again. So I was like, okay, here, let me hear you out. I've studied philosophy with all my professors being atheists, so if you know something that I don't know, let's hear it. Come on. So then I give them an ear, and they hit me with this whole same old, here's one, white Jesus arguments. Oh, you gonna sit there and worship a white Jesus? And I just like, come on. Like, dude, I know too much about history. I've taken world history. I've read books on history. And you expect me to fall for this same old, it's a picture of white Jesus with blonde hair and blue eyes. So that must mean that's how Jesus looked. Christianity is the white man's religion. And I just say, come on, guy. How can you tell me that a man in the Middle East, born back then, had blonde hair and blue eyes and was able to fool you into thinking that that was Jesus? They're like, well, I don't serve white Jesus. And I say, neither do I. I just be like, wait a minute. Maybe that worked in the 60s, back when it was cool and before world history was a common class that was taught in high school, and people would get tripped up over that. But nowadays, I say, come on, guy. You got to give me something stronger than that. I mean, we know that picture is historically inaccurate. And then they try to hit me with, okay, well, here, I found another one. There are belly buttons on Adam and Eve. And I just, once again, it's a painting. It's not a real life photograph from the Garden of Eden. Do you think that the artist who painted it, do you think Adam and Eve was standing still while they were painting on their belly buttons? Or do you somehow suppose that it was a real life photo? And if it was a real life photo, then who took the picture? Were there camera phones back then? And how did it make it to 2016? It's a painting. The belly buttons on Adam and Eve are nothing, because they're not verifiable actual photos from the actual day at the beginning of time. No, but okay. Here's the other one that they get. And here's when they get real deep. And it's like, oh, when they start like brushing their chin, or they let her wear glasses too. Like, that make you smarter. But then they had their glasses on, and then they, ready for it? There's no J in the Hebrew alphabet. Bam! And it's like, it's like they felt they just dropped a bomb, and I'm like, no J. So I had to tell you, how did they pronounce LeBron James? Or James Harden? Or does that mean Michael Jordan never existed too? And it's like, come on, guys. There's no J in the Hebrew alphabet. So what? The Bible wasn't written using the 26 letters of the English alphabet. That was not the original language. I just say, you can't be getting tripped up on these minor stuff. The original Bible was written in Hebrew. And yes, they don't have the letter J. But their letter likened to J is what we would kind of assume is Y. So that's why a lot of Hebrew translations, especially the Old Testament, or even Hebrew Jews today, would kind of, who are Messianic Jews, will still pronounce Jesus' name as kind of Yeshua with a Y. And that's kind of likened to our vernacular of what we assume as Joshua. So, yes, duh, there's no J in the Hebrew alphabet. But I just get annoyed that they have these cotton candy arguments They all repeat it over and over and over. But nobody's done no serious study to try to discredit and disclaim Christianity. If you're going to do it, at least be diligent about it. Don't be lazy. That's the worst thing you can be, is a lazy person trying to, because you confused, and now you're trying to confuse and try to trip up everybody else. I say, I'm not finna sell you that church has done everything right, because I'm a person who's had my heart crushed by church over and over again, like repeatedly, and I'm still sticking with the Lord. As a church mother once told me, it's enough to make you want to quit church altogether. And I was like, yes, ma'am. I had to tell myself the same thing I told a buddy of mine. Don't let man be the reason why you turn away from God. Man can be hypocrites, church can be full of fakes, and all this stuff. Preacher can be scandalous, and even corruption. I've seen it all. I've worked on that side. But don't let man be the reason why you turn away from God.